Hello everyone, and welcome to this video in which I will explain to you everything you need to know on how to use a shifter, an edge pattern shifter in American Truck Simulator. Of course, if you're going to use a shifter, I assume that you have a wheel. In my case, as you can see, it's the Logitech G29. You can use any wheel, but note that when you purchase the wheel, it comes only with the pedals. You will have the wheel and the pedals. You need to purchase the default shifter that comes with the G29 separately. Then, if you want to use those Eaton Fuller style knobs, you have to purchase it separately again. And you need to dismount your default knob of your shifter and replace it with the knob of the Eaton Fuller style shifter. Okay, and then of course your shifter will already be plugged into your G29, and there will be an additional USB device that you need to plug to your computer so that the range selector and splitter part of the knob is also recognized. And here, as you can see, I have keyboard and my Logitech G29 driving force wheel, and I have also, that's just optional if you have additional devices that you want to use, and that's the Simway shifter, that's the Eaton shifter. Without this, you will still be able to shift gears, but you won't be able to select the range from low gears to high gears and a split. I'm gonna talk about all this in a moment. So of course you want a transmission to be edge shifter, and then scrolling down, adaptive automatic transmission. Of course, what I'm not mentioning means you don't have to touch anything when it comes to manual gearbox. So edge shifter, of course. And then when your game detects whatever it is you are using, it will automatically assign shifter position, reverse shifter position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. That's not how you are going to be actually changing gear. It will depend on which transmission you're using, but this is the default. That is, let's say you are playing Gran Turismo or you're playing Assetto Corsa. This is how you will set your default shifter, and this is how it should be set here. Okay, so the shifter position reverse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me bring in the shifter itself so that you can better understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, so usually, forget about this knob, usually first gear will be here. That's what is joy button 12. Okay, second gear will be here, third here, fourth here, fifth here, and sixth here. Okay, and then reverse, I think you need to kind of, I don't remember because I don't use this for that type of game, but whatever you need to position your reverse gear to, there is, I think. Okay, so if in case it's not set up properly, you set it up as if you're going to play Assetto Corsa or Gran Turismo. But how you're going to actually use it in the game while driving, this is something I will explain in a moment. Let's talk about the shifter toggle 1, shifter toggle 2. Okay, the shifter toggle 1 is this button. Okay, so let me just unassign those two guys here. Okay, so the shifter toggle 1, it's this one. You just flick it, and actually that's how you're going to use it while driving. Okay, that's the shifter toggle 1. This will allow you to change from low range to high range. Okay, and the shifter toggle 2, it's this one, the splitter between high and low. Okay, you move it forward and backward. Same thing here, you move it up and down, and it's going to select it. Now, very important, you need to select shifter toggles use switch mode. There it is. If you don't do this, it won't recognize each and every position of this one and this one. For example, if you move it up, okay, it will kind of act as you press a key and you release it. While no, it's still up. And when you move it down, now it's down. You want the game to recognize each position. Up position, down position. This one, back and forward. So you have to use the switch mode because it is a switch. Okay, this is how you set up the shifter to work in the game. Remember, the shifter position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's the default one. But how to change the speed? Okay, the gears. Shifter layout behavior, put it on advanced. Okay, you have simple warning sound, put it on advanced. Clutch or throttle. Okay, it will be clutch press, throttle press. If you want to do it as in real life, it's clutch or throttle. Now I should say that it does not work exactly as real life, because first, in real life you will feel the sweet spot, especially when gear floating, which we will also cover. You will feel the sweet spot when then it goes into gear, and also when downshifting. Okay, you will feel the sweet spot and now it moves into gear. Of course, you won't feel all those things here. That's one thing. And second thing, I've come with a little bit of work around to kind of make it work with the clutch or throttle. It's not exactly as real life, but don't worry, I've got you covered so that you can enjoy your shifter. And here is what will determine how you will eventually use the shifter in the game itself. So I have it on Eaton Fuller 18 speeds because the truck is equipped with an 18 speeds transmission. Okay, but if you have a 10 speed, you select a 10 speed. If you have a 13 speed, you select a 13 speed. And if you have an 18 speed, you select an 18 speed. Okay, now there are range splitter. I don't use them because obviously if you have your shifter, you want to first equip your truck with the appropriate gearbox you want to use, a 10 speed, a 13 speeds, or an 18 speeds. In my case, it's going to be an 18 speeds. But don't worry, I will also explain to you how to change gear for all these different speeds. But first, because I'm equipped with an 18 speeds, I'm gonna select the 18 speeds so that I can then demonstrate to you how to shift gears using an 18 speeds transmission. Then we will see for the 10 and then for the 13. Now the diagram you're seeing is the shifting for an 18 speeds transmission, and I'm gonna bring this window here so that you can actually see better which gear I'm in. So if you look at the diagram, of course, when it's in the center position, it's neutral. And then you will find little rectangles, 3 above and 3 below, and with numbers in them and letters in some of them. So let's see the one directly above from neutral. Okay, below you have a 1, and above you have a 5 with that little rectangle. Okay, and the one below you have a 2 below and 6 above, 3 below, 7 above, 4 below, 8 above. So what it means that the digit, the number that is below, that's the gear you're going to shift into if this range selector is down. Okay, and if you move it up, you will select the numbers that are indicated above. So if this is down, I'm gonna push it forward. The number 1 is below, so I will shift into first gear. Forget about the little H, a little L for the moment. Just concentrate on the number. Okay. Now, if I'm gonna move it down, it's indicated 2 below. The number 2 is below, so it's going to be second gear. And you get the idea. Third gear, fourth gear. Now if I want to switch to fifth gear, okay, forward here it's indicated 1 and 5, but if I move it here it's still 1. Why? It's because this little guy here it's still down. So from here, if I want to switch to fifth gear, you locate when the number 5 is. The number 5 is here, but you have to tell, okay, the system that you want to switch to the higher gear, the higher range. so you move this up. And actually this is how you're gonna use it. Your hand is on the knob here, you just do this, nothing happens. Okay, while you are in gear you can move this as many times as you want, nothing happens. It's only when, okay, this is up here, remember this is up, when you move it to the neutral position, then okay, the system is going to identify if this is up or this is down. If it's up, it means that from now on all the numbers that are indicated above, remember up, above, okay, now it's going to be 5th gear because the number 5 is indicated above the number 1. There you go, 5th gear. So you get the idea. 6th gear, 7th gear, and 8th gear. Okay, and then back 7, 6, 5th gear, and once again you want to switch to 4th gear, but if you leave this guy up, even if you pass neutral and go there, it's still 8th gear because 8 is above 4 and this one is up, up, above, down, below. So what you need to do is from 5th gear you need to first, you're driving here, you need to then lower this guy, nothing happens like I said because it has not passed neutral yet. So then neutral, and then this is down, and now 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 4th, whatever. Okay, and when this is up, 7th, 6th, 5th, 8th. Okay, now you will find R. Okay, but just R. It means that it goes only into reverse. Okay, and below it you have L, low. It goes only into low. Now let's explain that little h and little L that you see. L is below, h is above. You change from the little h and the little L in between using the splitter. So when it's back, it's L. When it's forward, it's H. So for example, this is back, this is down. If I move it forward, it's 1L. Now while driving, if you want 1H, here if I move it forward, it will switch directly to 1H. But actually while driving, when you switch this forward, of course you are on the gas pedal while driving, nothing will happen. It will remain 1L, but here it's because I'm not driving and it's a simulator anyway, so this display has already registered 1H, but actually you will still see 1L. You're on the gas pedal, so you release the gas pedal and then back on the gas pedal gently, and then when you are back on the gas pedal, well, when you release it already, it will register the H, and then back on the gas pedal to be driving in 1H. So the sequence is 1L, 1H, 2L, 2H, 3L, 3H, etc. So here if I want to shift to the next gear, it's going to be 2L, this back, and then 2H, 3L, 3H, etc. So to move from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, you use this, and to move from little L to little h, you use this. Like for example, if I want 7h, so 7, this needs to go up, h, this needs to go forward, 7h. If I want 3, or let's say 2, L, 2, this needs to go down, L, this needs to go back to L. Okay, so this is how you change from L to H, the little L to the little H. Now that's the shifting sequence for a 10-speed transmission. Of course, this truck here is equipped with an 18-speed transmission, so it's not going to work in this truck. So I'm just assume that the truck is equipped with an 18-speed a 10-speed transmission. I'm just gonna show you the sequence. Okay, so your truck is equipped with a 10-speed transmission, and I already showed you where you select Eaton, Fuller, 18-speed, 13-speed, 10-speed. You go there and you make the necessary change. So this is the sequence. So It's gonna be the same, except that you don't have a splitter. So as you can see here, where is first gear? It's going to be down left. Okay, so range selector still works. As you can see, there are still two numbers, 1, 6, 2, 7, etc. It works exactly the same way, it's only the sequence that changes. So this is down. If I put it left down, it's first gear. Okay, this second gear, from neutral down, third gear, and then right up, fourth gear, and then fifth gear, and same thing here. 7 is where 6 is where it's down, it's left down, but it's up, so this guy needs to go up, and then down right will be 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear, 9th gear, and 10th gear, and then back 9, 8, 7, 6. And now for 5th, this one goes down, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and same thing here for reverse. Low reverse, high reverse. Okay, you don't have a splitter. That's for the 10 speeds transmission. Let's have a look now at the 13 speeds transmission. Now, as you saw, there was no option for 9 speed, but actually a 13 speed is like a 9 speed, but with some additional splitting for the high range. This is the diagram. Once again, the truck itself is not equipped with a 13 speed transmission gearbox, but if your truck is equipped, I've already shown where to select between the 10, 13, and 18 speed transmission in the control menu. And this is the diagram, so I'm gonna use the shifter only as per the diagram. But the actual shifting inside the truck is not going to be a 13 speed. Okay, so here, if my truck was equipped with a 13 speed transmission, here's the diagram. So the difference between the 18 speed and the 13 speed is that you cannot split all gear. Which means that this range selector here will work a little bit differently for the reverse especially. Okay, so once again, all the numbers that are below 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to have the range selector down, and all the numbers that are above, you need to have the range selector up. So here, if this is below and I move it back, it's going to be 2 because number 2 is below, and if I move this up, it's going to be number 6. Okay, so far no difference. Okay, so let's say we don't have those little H and L. Okay, where number 5 is, 6 is, 7 is, and 8 is. We'll just have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So down. Okay, forget about the splitter here. So down means first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and now for fifth gear, this guy up, fifth gear, okay, from neutral forward, neutral down, sixth gear because this is up, seventh gear, and eighth gear. Okay, and now, okay, same thing, 7, 6, fifth, down, 4, 3, from neutral, 2, and up, 1. Okay, and once again here you have only low range. Once again, it's like a slower version of the first gear, low gear, that is not low range, low gear. So if you move it left and down, that's low and only low. Okay, and for the reverse, if it's down here, it's going to be low reverse. If it's up here, it's going to be high reverse. Now let's see the difference. Okay, so this is down, this is back, so this is going to be first, second, third, fourth. Move this up, fifth gear, this is back, but the fifth gear you can split it as we were doing with the 18 speeds transmission, because 5, 6, 7, 8 you can see L and H, but as soon as you reach the fifth gear, you will split gears like 5L. So if you move this forward, it's going to be 5H. Okay, this is still up, so you move this back. 6L, 6H, 7L, and this forward, 7H, and then 8L, this back, and 8H. Okay, and if you want to downshift from 8H, you go to 8L, 7H, and then back 7L, 6, this is forward, H, 6L, and then 5H, and then 5L, and now you want to downshift to 4th gear, so this goes down, right, down, 4th gear and only 4th gear. This is a 13-speed transmission, so only 4th, 3, 2, and 1. So this is how you shift a 13-speed transmission. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to actually shift the truck using the 18-speed transmission and the 18-polar shifter. Now this is not going to be a realistic way of shifting because you shift it as you would with a car. And trucks, usually with that type of transmission, have a non-synchronized mesh. But by default, trucks in American Truck Simulator have synchronized mesh, so that's why the shifting is not going to be realistic. Still, that's the best way to learn, so you just shift it as you would in a car and using the pattern I just showed you. So here we are not going to be splitting all the gears because we don't usually split all the gears anyway, especially when we are not pulling anything here. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna start the truck, and then you drive it as you would for the car. You press the clutch, and then you shift, and then you release clutch, etc. And then I will show you the realistic way of doing things. So if you haven't touched anything in the console command concerning the synchronized mesh thing, just give it a try like this. By default, it's like this. It's the unrealistic way. So remove parking brake. In here, you just drive as you would for a car. So one low, shift into second low. Like I said, here you drive as you would for a car. Actually, I'm not going to be paying attention to the driving rules and all. It's just a demonstration. Should I maybe even disable the traffic? Okay, and now for 5th, this, and then we go 5th. As you can see, I'm just like a car, but that's not the realistic way. So for 5th, this up. But to learn the shifting patterns, it's good. Okay, so now to kind of shift to 7s like this. And now to go down to 6. This. 5th, now down to 4th. There you go. 3rd gear. You can see very easy to learn, but unrealistic. So once you're familiar with shifting from 4 to 5, 5 to 4, that's the most critical part. The rest is, like I said, just shifting the gears as you would with a car. Now let's see the realistic way of doing it. The first thing you need to do is to know how to access the console command. Now there are already videos on YouTube explaining exactly how to do this, so you just Google a console command in ATS, how to access stuff like that. And once you can access the console command, you're gonna type this G_H shifter _ synchronized 0. 0 means it's going to turn the synchronized off, which means that it's going to make it a non-synchronized gearbox, which it is. Now, in case you want to turn it back on, you just remove the 0, you put 1. Okay, so you have to know how to access the console command, and then how to just type G underscore H shifter underscore synchronized 0. I will put this in the description below so that you can just copy paste, and this will turn your gearbox into a non-synchronized one. And now you will have to learn the proper techniques to shift gears, whether it's a 10 speed, 13 speed or 18 speed transmission using your shifter. Now that we have a non-synchronized gearbox, let's see how it works. If we try to change the gear as we were. Now, as long as you're not moving, no problem. So here, I will just reverse. Okay, so first gear. I will stay silent and I want you to listen. Did you hear that? Gear grinding. Listen again. Okay, you don't want that gear grinding. Okay, and now, like I said, there is a difference between the simulator and the real life. In real life, you will feel that sweet spot, okay, even when you are gear floating. But here we are going to be using a technique called double clutching. And how it works is you are in first gear, you accelerate, okay, like here, 15. Now when you upshift, you want the rev to be at 500 revolution lower. Then you will shift to second gear. That is here. To start, you press the clutch, put first gear and drive until you reach 1500 RPM. And then clutch, put neutral, release clutch, clutch again. By this time the needle, when it reaches 1000, you shift to second gear. And so on. Second gear, you rev. When it reaches this point, clutch, neutral, release clutch, clutch again, and then third gear when it reaches this point. And the downshifting, let's say you're in fourth gear, here, fourth gear, you do the opposite. You let the RPM decrease until it's around 1000, like here, 500, and then clutch, neutral, release clutch, and then you rev like this. You can rev in a controlled way, but I like to just like this. You can rev to increase it to 500, but I just like to kind of rev it like this, and then you downshift. I mean, watch this part of the explanation as many times as you need, so that you have a better understanding what I just explained. So basically, when you reach 1500 RPM, clutch, neutral, release clutch, clutch again, and then shift to the higher gear. And to downshift, you are here, you want to downshift, you decelerate until the needle reaches 500 RPM lower, wherever you were. If you were here, okay, so 500 RPM lower will be here. There it is. So 500 RPM lower, okay, and then you clutch, put neutral, rev, and then switch into gear again. The double clutching is more complicated, I find, than gear floating, but in order for it to be complete, I needed to introduce it. Even I struggle with the double clutching a little bit. I'm more comfortable with gear floating. So let's give it a try and see how it goes. So to start, you will need to press the clutch and move into first gear. And then we will do what I just explained here. So let's get started. And down, 500, down, no grinding, 500, down, okay, same thing here, 500, okay, now to downshift, neutral. Oops. There you go. Remember, you have to put this to lower. Now I will remain quiet and just let you watch what I'm doing, so that you can hear when it's. It will grind a little bit, because you don't feel that sweet spot. So when it's grinding and when it's not, it shouldn't be grinding at all or not by that much. The upshifting, you saw how I did it compared to when you're not doing it properly. Hear the grinding. Okay. Hear the grinding, and now without the grinding, hopefully. Just a little bit. Now the downshifting, I'm already here, 500 RPM below. I missed my gate. Now driving, there you go. 500 RPM below. Okay, you understand how it works? There you go. Now accelerate again. 500 below, and then we go. Okay, so from 6 gear to 7 gear, I will explain again. So I'm driving here, 6th gear. I need to bring that RPM to 1500 ideally, and then when I will do the double clutching, I want the needle to fall down to 500 below, which would be about 1000. So here it goes, neutral, there you go. I mean, when talking and doing it, it's more complicated. Now I'm also worried about the road here. Now, in case you have to come to a stop here, just come to a complete stop. I have no idea if the road continues here or not. I think not. Just come to a complete stop in case you have missed gear also and you don't know what to do. There you go. Should have disabled traffic. Okay, no gear grinding. Ideally. Okay, 500, 1500. There you go. Now for the downshifting, you're going like this. You're going like this. Going like this. First you slow down, slow down, slow down. Maybe too much, I rev too much. Okay, now for 4th gear. There you go, continue for 3rd. lower 1,000, 100,000, something, 100, 1,100 that is. See, now for second. For the lower gear, it's a little bit trickier. No, usually I will leave on second, and then I will come to a stop if needed, like here. I can start from second gear, okay? I can start from second gear, no problem. Or when I come to a complete stop, I shift to first gear. Now what happens if I miss gear? There are ways to recover from missed gears, which I will explain last. But here for the moment, let's say you're going. Okay, you're driving. Especially for the downshifting, we're going to struggle a little more. Okay, so here, let's say for the upshifting itself, you are struggling. You're struggling. What you do is look at your speed. 30 is around 6th gear, so rev, and then, okay, it's not ideal, but you can recover this way. That's one thing. When downshifting, okay, when downshifting, you kind of miss your gear, you miss gear, you don't know which gear it is, just come to a stop. Okay, just come to a stop and then start again. Maybe a last time. I hope there is enough road ahead. So first you clutch, okay, from neutral, first you clutch, and then you will double clutch. So a little grinding is okay. Okay, I will start 6th gear because it's traffic control down to downshift. This. Okay, I rev again. Let's go to 4th gear. Second gear, those lower gear, like I said, are trickier, and then you go. I will usually stay at second gear. Let's try to see if I can catch the first gear. There you go. Okay, I'll stop here. Remember, double clutching is more difficult, I find, in the game. In real life it's easier, but in the game it's more difficult. And then we will now see gear floating. Now the gear floating, the theory works the same as for the double clutching. When you are upshifting, you ideally want to reach 1500 RPM, and then instead here of using the clutch, you will just pull the shifter out of gear into neutral, let it go down like 500 or 400, I think, is what I use when I'm gear floating, and then put it to the next gear. Same thing as we did for the double clutching, except that we are not using the clutch, we are only using the shifter. Only when on first gear from a stop, then we use the clutch. Otherwise, the rest of the explanation is the same. So let's start. Okay, parking brake. Just to start, I would put first gear using the clutch, and then second gear was without the clutch. That third gear too. It's without using the clutch. Now you don't have to look at the RPM. I'm not looking at. We practiced. You will do it by feeling. can see I'm more at ease with this one. Of course, as soon as I say that, and same thing here. When down, shifting. We're not using the clutch, but same theory as we did for the double clutching. So here, let's say we want to down shift to 6th gear. Here it is. Just pull the gear, the shifter out of gear, and then rev, and then back into gear. So here, okay, no clutch. So let's do for 5th gear also. 4th gear. Okay, you see how it works? No clutch. And actually, if you watch my gameplay when I'm in American Truck Simulator in those type of trucks, that's actually how I'm shifting here. Okay, so let's downshift. So 6th gear, 5th. Same thing here. When reaching the lower gears, I will ideally stay in 2nd gear. Let's see if I can catch the 1st gear too. You see, 1st gear is a little bit tricky to catch. That's why I will ideally remain in 1st gear. So now you know how to use either double clutching or gear floating. And now I will show you how to properly shift gear. Different options, and then you will choose which one you prefer. So I've positioned myself closer to the highway so that we can drive properly up to 8th gear. And when splitting the gears, there are a few ways of doing it. There is no only way to do it. No, there are a few ways. You choose which one you prefer. And in my case, it depends on the situation. But anyway, one way of doing it is to split all the gears. 1L, 1H, 2L, 2H, 3L, 3H, etc. Other people will split only 5L, 5H, 6L, 6H. They don't split 1, 2, 3, 4. And other people will only split 8th gear. In my case, it depends on the situation. Like here, I'm not pulling anything. I will split only 8th gear. Now if I have a trailer, I will tend to split only 8th gear if it works. If it's not working, and then I will see what the truck is asking. That's why I say it's situational. If I need to split 7th gear, 7L, 7H, I will. If I need to split 5th gear, I will. 5L, 5H, 6L, 6H. And if I need to split 4th gear, I will. It depends on the situation. We've talked about the 500 RPM when upshifting and downshifting, whether you're using double clutching or gear floating. And by the way, we will be only using, I will be using gear floating from now on. When you are splitting gears, it won't go down by 500, it will go down by half, 250. But in my case, with that setup, I find that when I'm gear floating, it's 400 RPM instead of 500 when not splitting. So if it's 400 when not splitting, when it's splitting it will be 200. So let me start driving, and of course first gear you will need to use the clutch, and then from now on you don't need if you are splitting. Okay, now from 5L I will go directly to 6L. See what happens. You saw that? It went from 1500 to, let me do that again. Look at here, we are at 1500. When switching to 6L it will go all the way down. You saw all the way down. That's why I say I work with 400. It went to 1100. But now I'm gonna split 6L to 6H, and look at what happens here. Same thing here, I push this forward, nothing happens, let go, and then let go of the gas pedal, and then back on the gas pedal. You saw? So this went down only by 200 RPM. And now if I need to shift to 7L, okay, the little guy goes down first. There you go, by 200. When you are splitting, it goes down by 200, and then 7H. Nothing happens. Let go of the gas. Now it goes down by 200, and there you go. That's the only difference when splitting. Okay, so 8L. Once again, as you saw, only by 200, and then I have track speed limiter on, so I won't go faster than 65. There it is, and let go of the gas pedal, and there you go. Now to downshift, same thing, you work with 200 instead of 500. So here, already positioned for 8L. There we go, 8L. Let it go. Okay, instead of working with 400, I'm working with 200. And if you're working with 500, you will be working with 250 when splitting. So, again, 7L. Now to 6H. There you go. So that's what gear splitting is. Either you split all the gears, or like I like to do, split either 5, 6, 7, 8, or only 8. And if need be, I might also split third gear or fourth gear. It depends on the situation. Okay. So now you are well equipped. You have all the knowledge to use shifter like this. Whether you are double clutching or gear floating, you can use this with the console command that I showed you to turn the transmission into a non-synchronized mesh, and this way you will drive as realistic as possible in American Truck Simulator using your edge shifter. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.